Welcome to Story Ideas on the Fly.
Where we pick a random idea from a hat.
And then we just try to develop it.
If you like any of the ideas here, feel free to take them for your own stories.
Ideas are free.
Okay, are all of you ready for today's prompt?
Yes.
Sure.
Why not?
Okay, today's prompt, being pulled from a swashbuckler hat. What if someone's thoughts became reality and he has no control over it?
So is this like just I think of an elephant, now there's an elephant in a room, or I think of this person dying in a car crash and suddenly they're dead? Oh, that would be bad.
Yeah, but then if you thought them back, that would...
Good point.
You'd have to have some rules on
Well,
this.
yeah, because this is one of those abilities that would
It's way
come.
too vague.
Yeah, it's very vague. Alright,
Is it just
You could
any
have it be-
passing thought, or is it something where it's a consistent belief?
a consistent belief might be interesting.
So
Yeah.
something like if this person believes that something is true, now it is true.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's an interesting way to do it.
If that's the case, I personally vote that we should make him a kid. Kids have an altered sense of reality, so suddenly the universe is changing all around him.
Also, kids tend to have less dark thoughts, so
Which would be
That
makes
is
it
very
easy
good.
to make it kid-friendly.
Yes.
Alright,
Or I think of
so-
a butterfly and now there's butterflies, and I think of a Tyrannosaurus and now
Well,
I'm
I
riding
think
a
less I
Tyrannosaurus.
imagine butterflies and they're butterflies, but it's more like
Your imaginary friend comes to reality because you've just imagined them so much that now you practically
or it's just
the
like
person.
or like one of the other neighborhood kids tells him, "Oh yeah, if you do whatever, if you put honey on a stick and hold up in the air, butterflies it attracts butterflies." And so he tries it and it actually works. Not because it actually works, because that's totally ridiculous, but because he thinks it works, it works.
It will work. Nice.
Sweet.
Okay.
Although that does beg the question, how'd this come to be?
Good question.
Is this something where he like absorbed an alternate dimensional entity which caused this, or he was
Or he had
granted it
some
by
kind
a
of-
god?
Yeah, some kind of gifted ability or being he could be a foundling, some kind of fairy.
Oh, a changeling makes some sense for this
Yeah,
because
so he could have
changeling
been switched out
because then it's
as a
fairy
So
magic.
he's actually a fairy.
And so, yeah, and you could definitely use
Because
imagination
fairies do
to connect
tend
with the fairy
to,
magic. Yeah, that works well.
Oh, I was going to
What do you
think of
call it?
that of taking a page from Cthulhu mythos and say humans are naturally practically godlike. They just don't know how to use it, and this kid just happened to manage to unlock it.
Now, that
You
is
could do
another
that
option
too.
I thought of where everyone in the world could have this power. That brings us a whole completely different set of worms.
Good point.
Because in
Yes.
that case, if anyone can literally gain this power at will, if they just think about it, how do you know that we don't already have this power?
Good point.
Well, how do we know
So in order to make
that
sure we
reality
don't
is
have-
the way we think it is, and not just we think it is that way, and that's why it's that way?
Good point. So I guess in order to make sure that we don't have that whole philosophical question of how do we know that the sun doesn't come up in the morning because we just think it should, that we should just say, yeah, this kid's the only one who can do this.
Your magic does help.
I don't know. You could make an entire interesting story off that second concept where
Good point.
It might be difficult to do though.
oh yeah, that
Yeah,
it
and
would
you'd end
be-
up running into a
Very
three-body problem.
difficult.
Yeah, it'd be very
Yeah.
similar to that. So
Magic
I think
tends
let's
to
stick
work
with the
best
kid.
if
okay.
there's some limitations to it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay,
yes,
so
having a
this
small
kid
child
has the
with
ability
incredible
to
power
manipulate
is
reality based on how they
terrifyingly
view reality.
interesting.
So then, who would want to exploit this?
Oh, lots of people. You know, interesting. When I put this idea in the hat, I was kind of thinking a very dark story and the hero really having to struggle with controlling his thoughts so that he didn't accidentally kill people or change people's fates or, lives in some horrendous ways and stuff. With a kid, okay, why would a kid have to be a hero? Because most of the time we as parents
Well,
we're
the
going to
kid
go
would
do
ha-
it, not the
would
hero.
naturally
So
think, oh, I have to be the
Mhm.
hero. The kid would just go, that sounds fun!
so the kid isn't going to be the hero. The kid's
Yeah.
going to be the people everyone's after. So who's the hero?
Yeah. So say your kid could
Well, we
be
could
your
put the hero
situational
as like a
villain
sibling
in many
or a
ways.
father or something like that.
Yeah, someone who's trying to protect the kid.
Oh, Big Brother.
Yeah, that could be fun.
An older family member. Let's just go with that for now, and then
Mhm.
details later. Well, here's the interesting thing: if this was discovered, and you would have people discover it eventually,
Because, well,
Yes.
suddenly this phone's completely dead and still working.
yeah. Well, he doesn't understand the
Yes.
concept that it needs power to run. He just play video games all day.
Dragons are real. I read it in a book.
Exactly.
And so everyone's freaking out because dragons flew onto a building.
So in that case, once people figure out about this,
Mm-hmm.
oh man, it would be like a mad power rush. Governments around the world, criminal organizations, everyone would want this
So
kid.
how could a protective family member like a big brother, how could they protect a child with that much power? How do you protect someone when you're up against?
One thing
Wait
is
a
you might want to
second.
try to convince the
Anonymity.
kid you're indestructible.
Yeah, no, that's it. You use the child, but you have to do it in a way. Because if you say, "Hey, Junior, sit down with me. I gotta have this, deep conversation with you about how these bad guys are coming to get you," that's gonna terrify him.
And that
And
makes more
since-
bad guys coming after him.
Yeah, because now he knows guys are coming
Exactly.
after him, some more guys are coming
But I
after him.
think
Yes.
anonymity might be the key.
So what
Because
he has
no-
to
you
do
keep
is
it a
he has to
secret.
turn it into a game with the kid, and go, "Oh, look, you see those men in those men pulling up in vans? Those are the bad guys. How many of you do you think you can beat up? How many can I beat up? Super strong, big brother. I bet you can beat up 50 of them. And you
That's
So much.
amazing. Because I was
So-
thinking the serious, okay, he has to keep this a secret, and then something happens that reveals this to some groups, and they start
do
selling it.
that.
Yeah, you can have it start off like that, but then after it is revealed,
Yeah, once we
suddenly
pass
he's
out of
going
the
for a
bag.
mad dash of trying to convince
Mhm.
this kid we can take on the entire planet if we have to.
Which is
If a nuke's dropped on our head, we're just gonna blink at it.
No, it's not that. It's like, but if I don't think an actual nuke would be dropped on them, but it could be the type of thing of, oh, oh, there's a bomb. Quick, how do we beat this? Oh, we need a shield, an indestructible shield. Yeah, can a force field exist? Oh yeah, we could make a force field.
Imaginary best friend, go take this down. Yeah.
Yeah, and so and so he has to
Imaginary
turn
should totally
all
be this invisible like elephant, dolphin, cat, something or other hybrid. Definitely should be something like that.
But that's why the big brother is the hero of the story, because I don't think the parents are gone, or that there aren't other, there could be other family members, but I think it's the brother that saves the day because he's the one that's able to connect with his little brother and use his imagination.
Because the
to
parents are
say-
going, oh no, we just need to hide him. We just need to make sure no one knows about this. The little sister doesn't really understand the situation, and then the big brother is going, hey, no, come on, kid. How many do you think we can take?
Yeah, you
I've got a sharpened pencil
Mhm.
and a brick. How many do you think I can take?
And then we could have a whole story where we develop this relationship between these two brothers, where where we could have it kind of at the start be the older one kind of the classic annoying little brother and stuff, and so we could have some conflict, but then have them learn to work together about this, and then
Mhm.
you could make an interesting story that
I
way.
think it would be a really good arc for the big brother too, because, and I'm not saying we should necessarily make him a total delinquent, but he could, since if he's the oldest, he may struggle with, he's not getting as good of grades as his parents would like, or he's having, some of these things that he
If we want to
maybe
exaggerate it, make him Asian.
I don't think that's
but
necessary.
that's the thing. He could be but he could be feeling like he's he's not good enough, or he's not living up to the expectations, and then as he's able to unlock his brother's abilities and direct them and channel them to uh a good cause, uh have that be his character arc where he starts to realize that there's more to him than he thinks.
Yeah.
So that could be a kind of a sweet, not just relationship, but sweet character arc for him.
Mm.
Okay, speaking of relationships, because you know me, the guys, the
We have to have a
guys
girl?
gotta get a girl. But what's going to happen with this relationship with the little brother when he's affecting reality? Oh, yuck! The girl has cooties. You can't talk to her. Or then you get into so yeah, you were heroic. Now you get married to the girl. And
Would that affect it?
that could
very
be
interesting.
very comic. But you could do something very comic and very touching and serious at the same time with that.
That is true.
Yes, so much fun.
That could be a fun. This would be a fun story.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Is there anything else it needs?
No, I
Got a
think
general
I
idea.
think
at
that's
least.
good. Might be fun if
Some
near the end of
relationships
it,
and basic
the
arcs.
like maybe the original
if you
parents
wanna
of this
have-
child, the actual fairy parent, ends up coming and going, "Oh, there you are, my kid. Come on." But then the kid's just going, "No, this is my family."
That could
I
also
think
be
that would be a
interesting.
really cute moment.
Oh, you could make an entire sub arc about that, because
Yeah. With how the kid got his where his powers come from or where his family comes from.
Well,
or it could
because
be
if he's a foundling or a changeling, then yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Although
have
it
him
depends.
adopted and just have the adoption agency somehow end up with a fairy child. I mean,
Yeah.
so they're not going, oh, there's an actual brother of ours that's, been living in the fairy realm all this time. But, depending on what you want to do with the story.
Yeah.
What more thing we could do?
And that could especially come out once he realizes he has these magic powers, which would then make him go, oh, wait, I can actually have these powers. And then you could have a whole where he has to kind of mature and say, okay, I shouldn't try to change too much about the world because I can make it better. But if I use this recklessly, I could mess up a lot of things. So I should learn to focus it and then yeah, you could end it with something like that, where he eventually finds his original fairy parents, and then has to make the decision between going back to the fairylands with them or staying with his family. It's like, this is my family type thing.
That sounds like such a cute.
Yeah, oh, that's a cute moment.
Cute.
Okay, maybe we should actually write this one
Maybe what
down.
we need is a villain, because obviously all these people from government agencies. But
Yeah.
it's nice if we can have a big bad boss.
Big bad, yeah.
Let's see who exactly would want this the most.
Okay, here's what you do.
Mhm.
It's a government subsidized criminal organization from a random country somewhere.
Okay.
So it has the resources of an entire country, but it's also completely willing to get its hands dirty type thing.
Okay.
Who want this kid's power so that they can expand their borders, take over neighboring countries and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Because it's an easy way to pass the power.
Yeah.
But the difference between them and all the other groups after this kid is this group actually has been dealing with fairy magic for a while, so they don't just they don't just have like modern technology and stuff. They also have
have at least
access to
some
some
level
fairy
of-
magic, so
of
they
fairy
can do
magic.
magical things like track the
Like-
kid magically or other
maybe
things.
shapeshift.
Yeah, or shapeshifters and stuff like
Yes.
that.
Oh, now that would be terrifying.
Yeah, and so
Yes.
and obviously this kid's more powerful than anything they have, so they will even if it destroys all the stuff they have and they get this kid, it's worth it. And so they're throwing everything into this kind of an
And
all
if
or
you
nothing
have your
gamble.
general or your Captain McEvil Pants.
No, that's what we should name him.
Captain Mickey
His
Bolt.
name should be legally changed after that's what the kid starts calling him.
No, yeah, that would actually work. The brother calls him Miss McEvil Pants, and the kid likes it so much that he starts calling him Mr. McEvil Pants.
Oh yeah.
And then at some point, his
His
name
legal name
actually
changes to
Mick
McEvil Pants.
Mr. McEvil Pants could be running the show on this, and hoping that if he gets it, that he could marry the king of this land's daughter or something.
Yeah, because
Or just looking for a promotion or
Yeah,
something.
it's like
but he's
I could,
definitely
with this kid's
he's
power, I could take
personally
over the
invested
country.
in it.
I could take over this entire country. Then I could take over the entire world.
Yeah, and then
Easy
maybe I could
enough
even
power.
take it over the fairy world.
There you
Who
go.
knows? This kid could literally create magic for
Yeah.
me. Yeah, this is perfect.
This kid's
Maybe that's
probably
why
a
the
fairy
brother calls him
prince.
medieval pants, is so that the little kid won't be as scared of him. Because I think if the child is scared, that's really bad. So
Because if
brother
the
has
child's
to keep
scared of
it-
someone,
Suddenly they're going to grow in power relative
yeah,
to him.
Yeah.
because their
Yes.
power, because he can give them power just off being afraid of them, but he can also take away
Exactly.
their power
By
by thinking
not
them
being
weak.
afraid
That's
of
why the
them.
brother has to turn everything. So even if you've got this really scary bad guy, he has to turn it in. And even if he's himself is terrified out of his mind,
Absolutely terrified. He has to
he has
keep a
to
straight
turn it
face
into
and say,
something
"Oh
funnier.
yeah,
just
that guy."
Put on a fake smile
Oh,
and go, come on,
Don't worry
kid."
about him though. He's only strong when he has all the goons helping him.
Ooh, that bulletproof vest is actually made of Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
Nice.
it dissolves in water. Quick, we need a water gun. The armor dissolves in water. Quick. That would be funny. And then
Yeah.
these government these guys with riot gear suddenly are being beaten back by water guns.
Nice.
Which fun.
I love it. I think this has a lot of potential as a story because it could be visually interesting, it can be funny, it can also be, intense, it has a lot of heart, but it also, has Mr. McKeeble pants running around. I think
I
this
like
is
this.
this
Oh
would be
yeah, I
really
love
fun.
this one.
Well,
This could be
y'all
a fun
got
one.
it?
I think you got it. Now, who
Got
could
it.
write it?
Okay.
Probably not me.
I could write it. Yes, I will give you the approval that this is a story that could be written. I could take what you've given this now and make it into a novel. And dang it, I don't have the time to and I want to. Oh my gosh, that would be so much fun. So, title of the book idea?
Ooh, what will we title the book? Let's see. Well, it's a kid altering reality
It's
with.
got to be something that sounds like a
Imaginative.
child.
Mr. McKeeble Pants.
Okay. Oh, you could call it something about
Titles are hard.
What could he call himself?
Epic Adventures of Imagination or something. No, that's too.
What would the boy think of himself as?
Oh. Yeah, you give him his own like almost superhero-esque name,
Yeah,
and
like-
then name it after that.
Yeah. Call him like the Dino Mecha Ultra.
Ultra Dino Ultraman versus McEvil Pants.
Right? I like it. When I get the time. Oh, when I get the time. Right, see you next time.
See ya.